In this video, I'm going to show you how to divide polynomials. Before I do that, I'm going to remind you how to divide, period. Let's say we want to say 32 goes into 45. I'm just going to make this pretty simple, all right? All right, 32 goes into 45. Well, we know it's going to go in there one time. I put the 1 in the ones column, not in the tens, but in the ones place, all right? So the first thing I do is I divide. All right, that's the first step. The second step is I multiply. Please write this all down. So I'm going to multiply 1 times 32, and I get 32. The next thing I'm going to do, number 3, is I'm going to subtract. Now watch this. You didn't learn this in elementary school because the teachers didn't tell you this. But this is a positive number, isn't it? Isn't 32 a positive number? Well, before I can subtract it, I have to turn it into a negative number. So I put a negative right above it so I can see that I'm dividing, or subtracting. Now I subtract. 5 take away 2 is 3. 4 take away 3 is 1. And I have a remainder of 13. So sometimes the teachers would say to you, write R13. Another time they would say, go like this. Put 13 over 32. So that's what I'm going to ask you to do. You're going to put 13 over 32. And that's going to be your answer. Now, guys, I forgot something. Number 4, if we had more numbers, we would have had like a 0 or something. Then I would ask you to bring it down. Bring down. But we didn't do that. Bring down. We didn't need to do that. And then after you bring it down, then you start all over. And with division, multiplication, subtraction, bring down. And when you finally bring down everything, then you're done and you put the remainder. Sometimes you might say 1 plus 13 over 32. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to divide the big guys. But we're still going to use these same steps. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go like this on this side. Number 1 is divide. I'm not going to write it out. Number 2, subtract. Number 2 is multiply. Hello. Number 2 is multiply. 3 is subtract. 4 is bring down. And then number 5, you start all over again. All right, so let's say we have this. X minus 1 divided into x squared plus 2x minus 1. All right, here's what you do. All you do is look at the x. That's all you look at. And you say to yourself, how many times will x fit into x squared? Well, it will fit in there x times. But I don't put the x here. I put it here. I'm going to erase this. You put the x here. All right, so I just divided. Next, I multiply. What is x times x? Well, it's x squared. What is x times negative 1? Well, it's negative 2. X, matter of fact. All right? All right, that was number, I multiplied. Number 3, I'm going to subtract. Now, before I subtract, I have to change the signs. Right now, this is a positive. I'm going to change it to negative. This is a negative. I'm going to change it to positive. Okay? Now, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I want you to, from the very beginning, do it the way I'm doing it. Write down that second sign that you've changed. If you don't, you're going to forget what you've done. So every time I look at one of your problems, I want to see 2 signs. All right, so now what is x squared? Take away x squared, it's 0, so I'll put nothing there. What is 2x plus 2x? It's 4x. All right, so I just subtracted. What's the next thing I do, number 4? I bring down. I'm going to bring down my negative 1. Okay? Now what do? I start all over again up at the top with divide. And again, all you do is look at this first guy. It's very easy. You don't look at this negative 1. You just look at the x, and you say to yourself, how many times will x fit into 4x? And it's positive, by the way, 4x positive. Well, it'll fit there 4 times. So I'm going to go plus 4. All right? I just divided. What's my next step? I have to multiply. What is 4 times x? 4x. What is 4 times negative 1? Negative 4. Third thing I do is subtract. But before I subtract, I have to change the sign. So this was a positive. I'm making it negative. This is a negative. I'm making it positive. All right, now I just, do my subtraction. 4, take away 4x, take away 4x is nothing. I'll leave it alone. Negative 1 plus 4 is positive 3. All right, that was, now, I go up. Is there anything to bring down? Nope. So I'm done. Well, I'm almost done. Now, what does that 3 represent? It represents 3 of x minus 1, whatever that is. We don't even know. We don't care. We're going to turn it into a fraction. Okay. My final answer is this, guys. It's x plus 4. This is the quotient right here. The quotient is the answer for a division problem. So it's x plus 4 plus, I've got this guy going on, 3 over x minus 1. Now you see how I made this big and make this one little so it shows that that's the remainder. All right, we're going to do another one. All right, here's a big problem. I mean, it's the same thing, but I do want to draw something else to your attention, which I forgot to do in the first problem. This starts off with an x square. Then the next one is x, and the next one is no x. If we had seen this in the middle, if I'd said 8x square plus 15, then you would have had to rewrite it like this, guys. You would have had to say 8x square plus 0x plus 15. This is basically a placeholder. You would have had to put that 0x in there. So I'm going along showing you how to do this stuff, but if it's not set up right, you're going to get the wrong answer. So make sure that when you're doing these problems, you make sure that you're seeing it like this. If it had said, if it had said 8x to the 4th minus 15, you would have had to say 8x to the 4th plus or minus 0x to the 3rd plus or minus whatever, it doesn't really matter, 0x squared plus or minus 0x minus 15. You'd have to put all those things in there for a placeholder, okay? All right, here we go. Let's divide this. Now, again, you just look at the first number. You just look at the first, little term. So how many times will 2x fit into 8x squared? Well, it will fit in 4. 2 goes into 8 4 times. And x goes into x squared x times. And again, don't put it over the x squared here. Put it over this second term. That's where you put it over. All right, that was division. Next, I multiply. What is 4 times 2? It's 8. And x times x is x squared. What is 4x times negative 5? Well, it's negative 20x. All right, so I just multiplied. Now I'm going to subtract, but before I subtract, I'm going to change the sign. This is positive. I'm going to make it negative, and I'm going to put it in parentheses. This is the most important thing I want you guys to learn to do. And you're not going to want to do it, but do it anyway. Instead of saying negative 20, you're going to say positive, and I want you to put that in parentheses. All right. All right, here we go. So let's subtract. So this just goes away. What is negative 24 plus 20? Well, it's negative 4x. All right, I just subtracted. Now I'm going to BD, bring down. I'm going to bring down that 15. And by the way, you can't just go 4x 15. You have to put that plus sign in there. Okay, next I go right up to the top and I start dividing. How many times will 2x fit into negative 4x? Well, it will fit in there negative 2 times. Okay, that was divide. Now I'm going to multiply. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4x. Negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10. Now I'm going to subtract. I'm going to change my signs. This is going to make that a plus, going to make that a minus. All right, these cancel out. And see, you see how they're canceling out every single time? By the way, if they don't, you've done something wrong. If that first term doesn't cancel out, you know you've done something wrong. All right, 15 take away 10 is positive 5. All right, bring down. Well, there's nothing to bring down, so that means I'm done. My answer is, the quotient is 4x minus 2 with the remainder of, so I can say with plus this little remainder, 5 over 2x minus 5. That's my answer. Isn't that fun? I think it's fun.